All of us are affected by color blindness. Look at these two images. Most of us would probably say that they are obviously different. Some may say that they're similar, but they're not the same. To me, though, these two look identical. That is because I am colorblind. Today we will be looking at, and yes, pun intended, colorblindness. How it is defined, how it works biologically, its causes, and its effects on day-to-day life for all of us. But what is colorblindness anyway? Let's discuss the definitions and varieties that fall under the umbrella of colorblindness. Actually, a true definition is not blindness at all. The National Eye Institute, which is the division of the National Institute of Health, says it this way. Some people have a color vision deficiency, which means their perception of colors is different from what most of us see. Rather, what you all see. There are 4 types of red-green colorblindness and 2 types of blue-yellow colorblindness. But to understand how color vision deficiency works, first we have to discuss how cones and rods affect how we see and how we create vision. Cones are triggered by different colored lights, one for each of the colors of red, green, or blue. Rods are triggered by low levels of light, which is helpful for seeing at nighttime. What happens in a colorblind person's eye is that the red cones or the green cones or whichever cones do not shut off when a different color light passes in front of them. This is why colorblind people often get other colors or shades mixed with each other. Now that you know what colorblindness is, you think you might have it? You may be wondering, how does somebody become colorblind? While a very small percentage of people become colorblind through age or from unwanted side effects from drugs, the vast majority of people inherit it through genetics. The gene for colorblindness is found on the 23rd chromosome and is only found in the X chromosomes. According to colorblindawareness.org, the 23rd chromosome is made up of 2 parts, either 2 X chromosomes if you are female, or an X and a Y chromosome if you are male. Excuse me. The faulty gene for colorblindness is found only on the X chromosome. So, for a male to be colorblind, the faulty colorblind gene only has to appear on his X chromosome. For a female to be colorblind, it must be present on both of her X chromosomes. My family is actually a great example of how genetics is passed down from one generation to the next. I am colorblind. This is because my mother is colorblind. She could only give me a bad X. My mother is colorblind because her father is colorblind, and my grandmother was a carrier for colorblindness. Now, what this means for me and my children is that all of my boys will not be colorblind because I'm giving them a Y, not an X. But all of my girls will 100% be carriers because I can only give them bad X's. So now you know you don't have colorblindness, but it still impacts you every single day. There are many parts of our society that are affected by colorblindness. Traffic lights, for example, always have a red on top, green on bottom. This order helps those who are colorblind they don't need to know what the color of the light is, they just need to know where it is in relation to the light itself. Also, stop signs are octagonal as opposed to yield signs, which are triangular. Again, the colorblind person doesn't need to rely on the color of the sign, more the shape of the sign. There's also a lot of professions that have been influenced by colorblindness. Many famous artists, such as Van Gogh, are believed to have been colorblind. But there are certain jobs where colorblind people actually cannot work. For instance, certain branches of the military, such as snipering or things of that nature. Also, colorblind people cannot fly planes because we can't see the lights and all the blinking things that are happening on dashboards and such. But those of us who are colorblind have learned to adapt to this reality and use different describers instead of colors to communicate. Some great examples my mother have are from when her and my father would pick strawberries together. My father could just stand above the strawberry patch and bend down and grab the red strawberry in amongst the green leaves, whereas my mother would actually have to pull the leaves apart in order to find the berries. I also have a great example of when me and my wife were dating. We were at her brother's wedding, going through the buffet line. As we passed by the salad, my wife asked me to grab some of the grape tomatoes that were mixed in with the mixed greens. For me, I had to find the shiny red objects in amongst the jagged leaves. And so now that you understand how culture has been shaped by colorblindness, I hope you have new eyes of how to describe the world around you. In conclusion, today we looked at colorblindness, how it is defined, how it works biologically, its causes, and its effects on day-to-day life for all of us. We looked at many different types of color vision deficiency and how the eye interprets color. We looked at the genetics and the likelihood of becoming or being born colorblind. And we looked at different ways colorblindness has affected our society, professions, and relationships. So with all of this information, don't ask me what I see, but tell me, what do you see? Thank you very much, and have a good day.